Hey, hey, hey.
What's up, everybody? What's up to the 11 people that are watching us right
Whoop,
now?
whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, here you go, your horns.
We need to just horn it up for the fact that we've been missing in action for what, 2, 3 weeks?
I think the last time we were on was February 14th.
Dang.
Yeah.
Y'all, we are so sorry in a sense where
Oh, life happens, right?
life
So
happens.
that was season one. You know, you watch your favorite shows. We did season one. Now we're ready for season two. And we are going to continue the same thing that we've done before. We're not switching it up like some people do. We're keeping it 100, keep it a buck. So, what we should do, we should shout people out, right?
Absolutely. That's what we do.
Yo, to the 15, 4, 12. Oh, it's going down. The numbers are, oh, it's going back up. Yo, to the people that are watching, please put your comments. Tell us know where you're watching us from, what's going on, your name. And, you know, as our tradition, we're going to give you them horns because you deserve it. You
Yes.
deserve every
You
ounce of it.
deserve horns. You deserve horns. Oh, you want me to keep going?
Yes.
No.
I think the people like the horns.
They really do. But I hope that you guys had a phenomenal week. Um, what up, Junie?
June is here.
Point it up for the homie who just celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday.
That's our sister from another mister. You know what I'm saying?
Or from another mother.
Well, you say brother from another mother, sister from another mister. It
Oh,
rhymes.
okay.
See,
I think
always
I was
got
today
bars.
today years old when I just realized that.
It's all good.
My bad.
Every day's a learning process. Sister Naomi Winston.
Happy birthday, belated birthday to you as well.
Yo, March is that month of birthdays. Rochelle and Kumba.
What up, Rochelle? Oh my
Mhm.
goodness, it's been amazing, awesome to see you guys. Of course,
Arlene.
this show wouldn't be this show without the homie Arlene.
Oh snap!
Dang,
Here we go.
Jamie.
My bad. My bad.
Man, that was a delayed.
Yeah, but you know, Arlene deserves that. She gets that. She gets the build up. That was the build up to the horns because everybody was anticipating it for it to come at a certain time. But we had to wait and anticipate, just like when you're on a roller coaster, right? You got to wait for the build up. So that was the build up. What up, D?
I don't
D
know
is
what
in
he
the
just
house.
said, Arlene. But what up, Duo? What up? What up? What up?
Yo, Duell gave us the awesome idea that we need to get shorts. Shirts that say horns on it. What do y'all think about that? Put a comment in the section. Would you wear a shirt that says horns? Because they, you know, I think it's dope. I think it's awesome.
What is it like nowadays? Everyone is branding themselves. So yeah, why not, right?
Why not?
It
Why
sounds
not?
like a plan.
Look what I'm wearing right here.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, happy Sabbath to everyone.
Oh, you missed Carlene's facial expressions. Yes, Rochelle and Kumba says she would wear a shirt that says horns. Let's give it a horn.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys. Okay, Arlene. Okay.
You're feeling the horns out there. Like that.
But I hope you guys had a great week. For the most part, I would say I had a good week. A week of blessings on blessings on blessings. Okay, Marvin.
Marvin gave his own horns.
All the way from Miami. I think you and Arlene are in the same state. Probably, yeah. Arlene is in Florida, right?
No, I think Arlene came back to New York.
What?
Arlene's a globetrotter. We don't know where she be at.
She's everywhere. She's everywhere.
She Carmen San Diego up in there.
But I hope you guys had a phenomenal week. For me, I had a pretty good week. A good week of answered prayers, God answering prayers. There's been so much going on in our space, in our lives. And that's why we have not been on like every Sabbath. I'm like, can we go on this week, please? And, with time, meetings and things of that nature, mostly him, of course. It has really not allowed us to get on here and be spend that time with you guys, which we sorely miss because it is like this is an opportunity for us to uh, build community and just talk about sometimes some really great things and sometimes some foolish things, but nevertheless, it's just all about building that community.
Yeah, and and we don't want to lose our community, so we know sometimes when we're not on, we lose consistency, and then you all find something else to do, and then we got to pull you guys back in and all the other stuff. But I think more than just the consistency in the community, I just like the whole um, just the whole vibe that this has. We go back and forth with those
Yeah,
that
yeah,
are in the
yeah.
comment section, and we just have a good time. What up, Donna?
What up?
Donna.
What up? What up?
Maleko Donna, Maleko Donna, Maleko Donna, Maleko Dana. You don't know what that's from. See, watch. Somebody in the comments gonna know where that's from.
I'm sure they will.
They're gonna say where
I
that's
just
from.
don't.
Where is Maleko Dana? Maleko Dana. Where is that from? All right. Hey,
What
Pastor
up?
Jamie.
What up, Toya?
It's interesting.
Did she get
what,
the points though?
all right, all right.
Please,
Give it.
thank you.
Oh.
She's like, you can share it, add it to the broadcast.
Yeah.
Toya says that, hey, it's interesting that what horns mean in different cultures. Just something to think about, I'm sure. Because the horns, right, means like Juve or like, is.
I don't know what is. I would love to know what a horn means in a different culture.
But I'm sure horns is like celebration, no?
Yeah, and that's what we do when we play the horn.
No. But she's just saying it's just interesting, something to think about that horns.
Oh,
mean
what it can mean in other cultures.
Different cultures, right?
Word, yeah. You don't want to wear a horn shirt say horns in a different culture, and they talking about chopping your head off or something.
Right.
But look, the people came through. Renee, Simone,
what up, Renee?
Simone.
Let's go ahead and. But Simone, I'm not sure why you had to come through with the Jamaica flags.
No.
Oh, that's dance hall celebration.
Right, but wait. Go back to Jamaica and Oliver, and
Oliver.
That's where my little Donna comes from. You remember that episode with Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? That's my favorite Oliver episode, and I think that joint would leave the pork. That joint is a classic.
No.
And he was like the reggae artist. And he was like,
okay. I've only known Oliver for the plane episode.
Oh, the plane episode.
When he was and he was coming from foreign or whatever. That must have been like my favorite and all-time favorite one. But yes, Jamaica. Yes. Simone is in the building. Then.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, dance hall celebration. That's true.
Yeah.
When you hearing those dance hall music, that's all you hear.
But Arlene hit us. Horn in Trinidad means cheating.
For real?
Yeah, they would say, that man a horn.
What?
He's a horn.
That man a horn?
I don't know. He's such a horn.
I'm over here thinking that he's like, he knows what he's talking about. That man a horn. I'm like, what?
I don't know. Arlene got it. Horn in Trinidad means cheating. I would love to know how it's used in a sentence. He gone a horning? Is that what you say? She's a horn? They need to stop horning around and stay with one man. Stay with one woman.
What?
I don't know. That's what it means in Trinidad. Horn means cheating. Please use it in a sentence. We would love to know how the context is used, because we need to know, we need to put horns American definition when we make the t-shirt.
He horned she.
He horned she. Why would he horned she? He horned she. Okay. And so I guess she horned he too, right? Not horny, horn.
He horned Shabad, man.
It's a verb. Of course, it's a verb. He horned Shabad.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You have just taken this entire horn thing to the next level.
I am not going to Trinidad and use the word horn.
Or walk around with a shirt
that says
horns.
Nope.
Right? That would be no.
But notice that as the verb, it is not horns, it's horn. Right?
Yeah, but then if I'm sure they just looking at it, they'll just automatically think He's a cheetah.
Because if I put horns, that means I'm a plural cheater.
Right. That means that you have gone a horning.
I go a foreign to go a horning.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure where this is going, but I
But
think we should stop now.
we just learned something about the word horn in Trinidad. Please, if you have a different definition of horn from your culture, please put it in the comments. We would like to know what it means, because I be traveling sometimes when I preach, and I get up in Trinidad and I just go, "Hey, horns," and then people think it's
I
a
don't
cheetah.
think you will ever go to Trinidad or any of those other countries
That's
and
messed up. You don't think my ministry will take me to Trinidad?
No, that's not what I'm
You don't
saying.
think people in Trinidad want to hear me preach?
What I am saying is I don't think that you will stand up in the pulpit and say horns. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
That's just not, I just don't see you doing that. Maybe in a smaller setting, like you're hanging out with people like horns, and they'll probably be like awkward. We don't use that here.
Yeah, so when we read Revelation and we talk
Oh
about
my gosh.
the little horn that rose up out the sea.
Jamie, you're taking it too far.
Okay.
Let's just go. Let's just keep moving.
All right.
He's about to go on a tangent, y'all, and let me just bring you back. But anyway, this week, last week rather, one of the things that we talked about, there's been so much that we have missed out, different opportunities to kind of like bring it to you guys, talk to you guys about different things. But one of the things that I was talking about on my Instagram the other day was about weddings. Well, I was talking about dating and kind of shared my story, our story of us dating, for how long we dated, and knowing that I was not the only one.
Word? There are other people that dated as long as we dated too?
There were other people who dated as long as we did, and there was someone who
Are
actually.
they married today?
Yes, they're still married today, and it's very interesting. Someone actually told me that because I shared my story, our story, about the length of time that we've been dating, they feel seen because they've been kind of going through the very same thing in terms of that long dating period. And so she was just like, I feel like I'm you acknowledging that makes me feel like I'm seen. Something is not, it's almost like something is not wrong with me or my relationship. Because oftentimes we feel as though the longer you're dating someone, I mean, it makes sense though. The longer time frame that you're dating someone, it seems as though like something is wrong with the relationship. Someone in that relationship isn't willing or ready to commit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense, because you saying to yourself, why are we dating for this long to find a relationship? But there's so many different, everybody's different. There's
Correct.
so many different circumstances that may contribute to someone dating long or someone dating short.
Correct.
So, as long as you make it through, or as
Yeah.
long as both parties are, I guess, comfortable with it, and if you do walk away from each other, it's a mutual sort of type of thing where it's like, all right, chuck up the deuces. I get it. This ain't working.
Right. Simone says, as long as this long taking is heading somewhere. Yes.
Exactly. We ain't going on this bus. I don't get on a bus that doesn't tell me where it's going, right? Nobody jumps on a bus randomly. Just say, oh, I just want to get on the bus. That's the same thing.
That's right.
With a relationship.
That's right.
But here's the thing, though, right? Before you get on the bus, you know where that bus is going. So
Correct.
I think that when you're jumping into a relationship or you're getting into one, you should at least know where you would like it to go, right? At least have some idea. Oh, no. You should have some sort of idea that this is going to go somewhere. We're going to end up at a destination.
Right. But it's very interesting. I had my first Instagram Live a few weeks ago, and Tiffany Llewellyn, she had a twist on that concept of dating, right? That you should be dating for the purpose of marriage. And she came in, she kind of gave a twist, but it makes sense that you don't necessarily date for the purpose of marriage, that you just date. You just, because sometimes that expectation, it
forces
creates
you,
and it forces you to, okay, we are both deciding to be married, right? That out of this dating experience, we're going to be married. but it forces you to be stuck together, and you don't necessarily like each other,
Right. And you're
right?
just like, yo, I'm just trying to get to know you. Slow your roll. Right? Slow down. Slow down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow, Arlene. Oh, read that.
Okay, I was speaking with my best friend today about that. He was with his girlfriend for 9 years, and they just broke up on February 1st, and he just went out on a date this week. Oh
Now
my
that's a good
goodness.
topic. How soon is too soon after a breakup?
What, Arlene?
I feel sorry for the well. I
Oh
feel for the girl because
man.
she's probably a rebound, or maybe he had his eye on her for a minute, or maybe this is how he's trying to numb his pain. Who did the breaking up? Did he break up with her? Wait, let's see. He was with this girl 9 years. They just broke up.
I'm
Was it?
sure it was a mutual thing, but
Yeah.
that for oof, dating someone for 9 years, that's almost 10 years, and you break up,
That's
and then the dude goes and start dating a week after the breakup. Well, not a week, but like a few weeks after. That right there is honestly what that's that's right there. That, oh my gosh, that's devastating, honestly.
I'm sure it's devastating to her. Um, I'm trying to think though, like it's so many different things to why he may have went on a date already. You know, maybe he's one of those people that isn't comfortable with being by themselves. He wants to get out there in the field and play again. And nevertheless, it just looks like rebound, right? It just looks like quick rebound. Let me go and do something else. But maybe he's the type of guy that compartmentalizes things and he can walk away from something and absolutely forget about what he had to. But 9 years, that's too deep to walk away from, right?
Yeah, like
Like,
Junie just said, he's been dying to get out. That's what it
yeah,
seems like,
right.
right?
If you're ready to jump up on another, jump into another, exploring another opportunity to date after 9 years,
Yep.
that's a grown child,
Look
right?
at this. Look at this. Arlene said, and it's confirming what Junie just said. He broke up with her. He said he was checked out of the relationship a while ago. So yeah.
Dang.
So he's he's so that's why it's easy for him to go on a date, because
Right.
he's checked out. He has no longer, not to say that he's probably still not in love with her or love her anymore, but not to the level where, he'll feel guilty for going and being on a date with someone else.
He feels
Um,
emancipated.
that's crazy. I mean, I don't know if it's crazy. I just feel it's just, whoa. Renee asks, do men and women deal with breakups differently? What do you think?
It depends. It depends. I don't think. I think there. I think what we've done is we probably stereotyped it, right? So we
Uh,
think that men, deal with a breakup in a certain way, like they're macho and they move on, and women, the image that we have is that women are usually crying, they're hurt, and they're going to depression, eat ice cream and chips, cut their hair and stuff like that. But I think men go through the same thing too. They have their withdrawals, their moments, especially when a guy is like really invested in a relationship, and to know that this woman is saying, "Yo, we're done. I'm out of here." He deals with it. It's difficult, but I think everybody deals with breakup and loss differently. And
hmm
sometimes the way we deal with it is how we have dealt with breakup and loss in other areas of our lives, right? Like so,
hmm
like the breakup of our families, the breakup
hmm
of mom and dad, the breakup of relationships within that. So sometimes you pick up habits from those experiences that translate into your relationship. So
Very true, but I also think that I think the media also plays a part in that
true,
stereotype as
true, true,
well,
true, true.
right? Because when you hear about those breakup, like the song that comes to mind is "I'm going down because you ain't around, my whole world's upside," whatever, right? Because it seems as though, like, our the music we listen to, when a couple breaks up, like the woman is like she goes through these cycles, right? She goes through the almost like she's in denial, like, no, this is not happening. Then she goes through I'm about to burn all your clothes, like the
Waiting to exhale.
waiting to exhale, like she's about to she's now, what do they call it, like when people snap, like she's snapped, right? And now she's like going crazy, and then she's crying again, and then she's like, no, take me back. And it's this cycle, right? And that shows in those videos that we used to watch, that shows in those movies that we watch. And so for men, that stereotype is like, they can off the off the cuff, like they can just be like, I'm done with her, I'm good. Like they know how to, it seems as though men know how to bounce back faster from a breakup than a woman, than a female.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But it's like people say in the comments that
Ooh, sorry.
it depends on how invested he was in a relationship, how much time, how much money he put into it, and how many other relationships that he has, I guess, broken for that relationship, right? Like not hanging out with his friends, like just being so like tunneled on that person. Brother's gonna deal with that thing tough. And then they say this also creates that the callous, mean hearted brother, right? Who's almost like, yo, all women are dogs. All women are, well, they say all men are dogs. Well, all women are nothing. Yo, I ain't trying to get serious with them. I ain't giving my heart to a woman. Jay-Z says, um, not for nothing, never give my heart to a woman. I be forever macking. You know what I'm saying? So they say that drives brothers to that. And that's a hard way of dealing with the breakup.
Yeah, but I love what Dwell said. He said society makes a taboo as well, because men showing emotions with regards to breakup is a no, right? You got to tough it out. You got to be strong. You got to show her that you've moved on. You're not thinking about her. You don't want her. When the reality is that there are men who really are feeling it when a girl breaks up with them.
Right, and absolutely, and I think hip hop, some hip hop songs contribute to that. Hollywood contributes to that. Media contributes to that. Men are not supposed to show emotions because it's also to the fit. Like so, brothers will probably deal with the breakup privately in a hard way than they would in front of their peers.
Very true.
Because their peers are gonna be like, "Yo, you crying over them? Some girl? Son, what's wrong with you?"
Exactly, exactly. Like, man up.
Go
get you another girl.
Yeah, but
because you know what it is. Because sometimes it feels as though men are able to bounce back faster because they can jump into relationships. Some men, not all men. But I think the stereotype is that it's easier for a man to go from relationship to relationship in a snap versus a woman, because we're so emotional. We're emotional creatures. It takes us a bit to process what has just happened, and then the thought of going into a relationship, we may try to like rebound and go into a relationship, but honestly our heart is not there because we're over there thinking about that dude. That's not all women, but that's a stereotype that it has around, that breakups have with women.
Yeah, and in some cases, if a girl breaks up with a guy and he goes into another relationship, sometimes that relationship is get back at the girl.
Yes.
So sometimes a brother would get into a relationship because he wants to be noticed by that girl to be like, look what you let go of. Somebody else appreciating it. Somebody else is liking it right now. So he may still mentally be in that relationship, but he's just trying to get attention and just saying, yo, I'm gonna use you for now, but I ain't really into you.
But I think it would be great if men were to show those emotions even more. It's almost like, I know everyone has a different way of displaying those emotions, but I just feel as though it would be great if okay, let's get real here in terms of let's stop talking in I don't know, what are those words? Like talking in like code, not codes, but like
circles.
No, what's that word? Like
entendres?
No, let's stop talking in whatever in those. I can't think of the word in those experiences. Let's talk about our relationship.
Oh.
When we broke up. right? When
Amen.
either he broke up with me or I was just like, it's time for us to no longer be together. Like, it hurt to see that I was hurting. And on the outside, it seemed as though he wasn't, right? Because men has this cold facade, like, I'm good. I don't need you. You are better off with somebody else. You know what I mean? And so it just seems as though for women, we don't feel validated. Like the men, I don't want to say we don't feel validated, but sometimes our emotions, right? Our emotions are so deep and so intertwined that it seems as though we are the only one feeling what we're feeling.
So sometimes we don't show the emotion
Hypothetical. Thank you so much, Renee.
because you might go back to your friends and be like, "Yo, he was crying. He was up in the car. He was over there." I'm like, "Yo, man, why was he crying like that?" So we always got to keep the front up. We got to keep the facade. We always got to be tough, and we got to keep it, street, keep it trill at all times. But a mature guy, I think, is going to show that he is hurt by it, but also we can't let it dictate the rest of our days or where we go from there.
But even though he dictated, even though I think when it depends on the breakup, and I know it depends on the breakup, right? I think if you are, for 9 years, you've been dating someone, right? And you break up, regardless of who checked out first, there is still a lot of investment, whether emotional, physical, spiritual, financial. Has been an investment in that. And I think for a man to kind of show as if, or act as if what you had together, it wasn't that deep. I think that is another layer that a woman has to process through, because it's almost like, wait, but you said, I know you. I know you. Stop acting like I know you. And so all of a sudden I don't know you anymore. Like, I know that you're not, like, I know you're hurting. So why don't you just show it?
Because men are not taught to communicate. We're not communicative. Is that the word? Individuals, or at least not all of us, right? So, and we talked about this before, that we are conditioned or been taught to say, "Yo, I'm good. Yo, I'm alright.
Yeah, but
I'm
in front
straight."
of the person that you've been vulnerable with for 9 years.
Well, you just broke up with me, so now it is no. Now we cannot be vulnerable in front of each other
No, but
anymore.
if you're the one that broke up, if you're the one that broke up with me, then why are you not showing that vulnerability? If you are the one, right? If I did it, then you'll probably be like, yo, cut it all off. I'm done. But if you're the one that did the breaking up, then I think you should be even more vulnerable with that person.
I don't know, maybe, but it's like I'm trading in my car. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Mercy,
I
Jesus.
don't want this car no more. It's like
Wow, you used a car.
we had a good time. We had a few miles. We put a few miles on it. We went around. We went
Wow,
around
Jamie,
the
for
country.
real?
Now I'm trading in the car. I'm walking away from. Going to get me a better car. I'm not saying that's how I think. I'm just saying.
Are you sure? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But I think that's just how men have been conditioned to process things. It's like, yo, moving on from one thing, I can't be attached to this. If I'm in it, then I'm attached to it. And then I'm gonna use the car thing as well. This my car. I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna make sure it's the best looking car. I'm gonna take care of it. But when it's done, the car, if the car's engine's not working, when it's done, it's done. And so it's time to we got to do something else. We got to make another move. I think sometimes in relationships, guys don't look at their women as cars, but I think sometimes guys look at it as like, yo, let's make this thing the best thing it can be right now. All right, it's done. Yo, it's done. All right, you go your way, I'm gonna go my way. And almost it's like, why I gotta be emotional now? We're done. Me being emotional ain't gonna do nothing to bring us back. We're finished. It's over. Let's go.
Mercy. See, this right here. Okay, there's several. Yanni said something, and then Arlene said something. But Renee, she says, I guess everyone is different. I can't imagine investing 9 years in a relationship with one person, and I'm not married to them. That's true.
Hmm.
But then sometimes you get caught in that, you get caught up,
Yeah.
right? You get
Nine.
caught up,
Time flies.
time flies, and you know you're chilling. There are probably words being exchanged saying that, you know, I'm gonna wife you up, or I'm gonna
And
marry you, I'm gonna, you
yeah.
know, sell, this is what we are working towards.
And I'm sure in those 9 years they were breakups.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think they dated straight for
No, no,
nine
no.
years.
I
They
have
had to have like
breakups
into
in between.
yeah,
Yeah.
peaks and valleys.
Yeah, and then you have women like Arlene and Yoni, who are what we would consider icebox in terms of their hearts. It's like, Yoni, I'm the same. We are sisters, hun. My best friend said I gave the song Icebox to Omari, and I have an icebox where my heart used to be. Oh, she's singing a song.
Yeah.
It drains my energy. They want me to be dead. No, ma'am. Right. Then you have
Yeah.
women like you, Arlene, and Yoni, who knows how to who knows how to process that stuff and to completely get to that point where it's like ice cold. I think every woman, I think every female gets to that point, right? You get to that ice cold point where you're just like, you know what? Bump that. I'm good. I'm good. If they come back and they're like, please take me, nope, I'm good. But I think I'm interested to know, Yoni and Arlene, are you guys like from jump, like, I don't want to be with you anymore? Great, peace. Or from jump, are you ice cold, or are you, or are you? Does it take a bit to for you to get there? I'm very interested to know that.
They're gonna respond.
I know.
Cam D's, listen, I know a couple where she asked for the divorce, and when he moved on rather quickly, she was devastated. He is now married to the rebound. So, do you think that rebound relationship can last?
Girl, I don't know. Because sometimes you have those relationships where they are, they exist after a rebound, maybe about
Yep.
a week or two or even a month, and not even a year, and their relationship, their marriage is strong, it's long lasting. So I don't know. I don't know, because
Yeah.
sometimes some rebounds last and sometimes some fail and end really quickly as
Yeah.
they started.
Because it may not be a rebound, it might be a slam dunk. So
Mercy,
like
Jesus. And as you say, sometimes the female prior to that is making them
a better husband
for
for the
that.
person that they will marry. So
Hmm.
it's all in context in that person. We know most times rebounds don't really work, but sometimes the rebound was what they were looking for, in that relationship and what they want from out of that person.
Hmm.
So it can last, it cannot last. I don't
Hmm.
know. I've seen some relationships in my pastoral work where they were married to one person and the person got married real quick to somebody else and they still married today.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very interesting. But Yoni and Arlene responded. Thanks, guys. Yoni said, "Not ever." Yo, she ice cold. I don't. Do you have a heart? I'm
Icebox.
just messing. I'm just
Yeah.
messing. I mean, that's. I don't know. It's great for you, and it works, and that's what matters most. Arlene says it takes a while. I don't usually address the same issue more than once. It's if it
Yeah.
gets to three, I'm out. Wow. Yeah, you're no holds bar, Arlene. You probably need to teach a class on how to do that joint, because that's not everyone's thing for sure.
Yeah, but 9 years is really interesting in regards to relationship and being able to walk away, being able to walk into something so quickly right after 9 years.
But you remember he was checked out.
Yeah, he was checked out.
He was checked
So
out. Who knows?
he was probably
They probably dated on the calendar. It says 9 years, but they probably only dated for probably 5 or 4 years,
Yeah.
right? Like intentional, real, great, good kind of dating.
So how long should somebody wait to date after they've been in a relationship?
So hold on. Let me talk. Let me read this thing, and then I can answer your question.
Sure, and I'm asking the public too.
Yeah, how long? So I can speak for myself. The process started while we were still married. I checked out mentally, then the physical joins my mind. So once I'm out, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So that makes sense, Junie. That makes a lot of sense. She says, but that's after I've addressed and shared my thoughts on something. You have a choice to hear me and do something about it. That makes sense. That makes sense. Latoya said, rebound relationship here. 17 years, baby. Wait,
Horns,
wait. Okay,
horns.
wait. Wait, what is she saying? I don't know what
We
you
were
giving.
both on the rebound, though. We both also checked out of our previous relationships, and that may be the difference. So here is Latoya saying, basically, I rebounded. The person I'm with now rebounded as well,
Oh,
and so
wow. 17 years.
right, and so in the rebounding, they were bound to each other, and they are still stuck to each other 17 years. So it can work. It can work if you, especially to like if you're walking out of something that was like hell, right? You're walking out of a relationship
Yeah.
that was like hell, and you've been emancipated from that, and you find somebody else that treats you the way you deserve.
Yeah.
Then a rebound can. Then it's not necessarily a rebound. You know that we wouldn't even call that a rebound. That's just
You wanting more and
yeah.
better.
It's like well, let's change it to bounce back, right? You bounce back. So they can work, and sometimes they don't work if they're for the wrong reasons,
Right.
right? If you rebounding because you trying to fill an empty void, or you
Mm-hmm.
trying to get back at somebody, or you're not good, you're not in a good space with just who you are as a person,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna fly, fam.
And I would love to know, Toya, like how Latoya, like how did that, what did that process look like for you guys in terms of um, emotionally being able to be present and ready for that person that you're now dating? You know, the baggage of how did you process through that baggage that you had with with your ex? You know, like how did you process through that, and how did you get to a place where you were able to build a very strong marriage for 17 years? Like that is like dope. And I think it's almost like an anomaly.
You made that up, dope, dope.
Yeah, I just did.
That's dope, dope.
Okay. I think it's almost you guys are like an anomaly of sorts, because usually that joint don't last, right? Renee said, "Look for the waymarks." Oh man. All right. So T says, question. All right, T, what you gonna hit us with? You wanna read
Outside of
it?
marriage and kids, why would anyone be with somebody for 8, 9, 10 plus years if it doesn't appear that you are progressing in the relationship? Because I think sometimes we stay,
Yeah,
it's
we
because
get
all we
lost.
know, we get lost in it, and some people have faith in it, right? They have a hope and a belief in it. And then also too, this is the other thing too. When you've invested in something, and when you've invested emotions, when you've invested,
I'll be back. You keep it going.
okay, all right, you all right?
Yeah, I have to use the
You gotta
bathroom.
cry?
No.
All right, she left me here by myself. All right, so she'll be back. She had to take a little commercial. Well, she had commercial breaks here, but nevertheless, what I was saying that when you are, emotionally invested, when you've put in time, when you've put in money, physicality, all of those things into a relationship, it's hard to walk away from stuff like that. And so I think that's why people stay for so long, that they don't walk away, because they're like, all right, here you go. I'm gonna say it like this. When you've watched a terrible movie and you know the movie is bad, and then you get to a point in the movie where you're like, I need to turn this thing off, but you've watched already so much of this movie, and you're sitting there like, I got to see how this thing ends, and then you're just sitting there in it. Sometimes life is like that. You know it's bad. You know we shouldn't be in it, but you're sitting there because you've invested so much time in watching this silly thing that you stick with it. And unfortunately, you leave more angry than you were when you said, I should have turned off this movie from the intro rather than stay with it. You good?
And I'm back. I
All
drank too
right.
much water.
I know I should have started rapping while you was gone,
No,
but it's all
I don't
good.
think so. No, we don't want that. But I definitely think I was listening to you as I was, yeah. I heard you, what you were saying, that sometimes when you're in it, that it's really hard for you to press the brakes and just walk out of it, especially if you've invested so much of your time and energy. You think about this person has been introduced to all your family members. You think about this person probably, knows more about you than anyone on the face of the earth, So it's hard to walk away. And I
Yeah.
know that when you're on the outside of it and you're just like looking in, you're just like, how does that work? You could not have told me that I would have dated Jamie for seven. And the thing about it is, we dated for 7 years, but we were in our ninth year is when we got married, right? So technically, we dated for about 9 years. You proposed like when we were in our seventh year,
Right. We
or maybe
did.
the 8th year, maybe 8 years we like dated, but it was a while. And so I think, from the outside looking in, it's really hard for you to be like, yo, how could they do that? Like, how? But that the emotions, man, and emotion and feelings and all those things
Yeah.
pulls you in. It
And
sucks you
and
in.
then other people are different, right? And this is why, like, so people are so different. Sometimes there is the fear of losing things, right? The fear of something that's missing, the fear of, I can't let you go. And so sometimes they talk about, they've done studies where they've realized where sometimes when a girl doesn't have a positive male figure in her life, that she grips onto anything that looks like that. And then sometimes for the male, when there's no positive female reinforcement or a father in his life too, that he either becomes cold and callous towards women, or he grips onto what seems like his mother, right? That nurturing kind of uh, sensibilities that come from a relationship. It's different for everybody. Who knows why people stay in it for so long? But I do know, I can say for a fact that for us, for us in our story, there was so much investment. And mainly, if you go back and watch that episode where it's like, man, I wasn't really sure of myself. And I think that's another reason why sometimes people stay in relationships too. When you don't know who you are and what you want,
Mm.
you just keep riding the bus,
But I
and
also,
hopefully they get to a destination.
and I also think, like, when you see that person, right? That person that you've been dating for more than 2 years, 3 years, right? And you know their potential. You've kind of daydreamed, you've prayed, you kind of see the potential that this person has, right? And you're just like, yo, I see your potential. I want to be a part of that potential, right? And so that's why I know, for me, I just kept hanging on in there, because he's just like, I don't know, whatever. And I'm just like, yo, I can see you being the man of my dreams, right? But it's definitely a very thin line between knowing his potential and staying in something, or going through those motions. And it's almost like abuse.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you're abusing yourself,
right,
because you see their potential, but at the same time, it's coming at your loss.
right, and then
Your loss, not loss.
and then
Loss.
also too, right? If you invest in that relationship, like you buying this person clothes and all these other types
Yeah,
of things,
yo.
you gonna be so tight when you see that person wearing the outfit you bought with them on a date with somebody. Matter of fact, I saw a video today. It was wild. You probably saw it on Instagram too. Apparently, this girl was having dinner or lunch with some other guy. The boyfriend walks in while
Mhm.
they're having lunch, and he's like, yo, this is what you're doing. Give me back everything I bought you. And she proceeds to take off her clothes inside of this restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it's staged. I don't be believing everything we see on the internet, but I'm just saying that because that, one, this is a breakup. Two, this is how this brother is processing it, because he's angry. He's showing his emotion publicly. And she has such low self esteem that she's going to take off her clothes in front of millions of strangers because she wants to prove a point. And then towards the end of the video, she's like, give me back my clothes. That's why I think the whole thing was staged. I
But
don't
what?
see nobody doing nothing like
No,
that.
no, 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 no. Remember, we watched the video a few months ago in Brooklyn. This
Oh,
dude,
that was not staged.
that was not staged.
That
This
joint was
dude,
funny.
it was funny, but it was crazy in that this dude was with another girl, and his girlfriend saw both of them, And she was like, "Oh, this is what you gonna do to me? This is what you
Who
gonna
was
do
she
to
gonna
me?"
call?
She said she was gonna call somebody. I
That's
don't
when
know. I don't. It sounded like Pookie.
when she said that, that's when he started taking stuff
That's
off.
right. That joint. It sounded like Pookie, like somebody he was gravely afraid of. Because the moment she mentioned his name, she was like, "Don't let me have to call." And he was like, "No, no, no. You don't gotta do all that. You don't gotta do all that." And she was like, "Take off your clothes." Like she was like, "Take off that belt. I bought it." No, she said first, "Take off your sneakers." And he took off his sneakers. He's like mad. "Take off your pants." She's taking. Take off that belt. Take off your shirt. And he is literally walking. She said, "Take off that socks because I bought it for you." He is literally walking in the streets of New York with his boxers, and that's all he has.
And it was cold because
And it was
it was
freezing.
like Black Friday.
Exactly. And so, you know what I mean? Like that investment, I think there are levels to this thing,
Yeah.
honestly. There are levels and maturity levels. Because sometimes when you're younger, that investment, oh, I'm going to buy my shorty some clothes because it's almost like ownership, right? I want my shorty to, it's almost like these clothes represent my
And that's
relationship
interesting
with her.
because in our relationship, you never wanted me to buy you clothes.
Nope.
And I
I
would
did
always want,
not.
and I'd be like, man, she making me think. Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do for your birthday?
Nope.
I've never bought you clothes throughout our entire relationship. You laughing at
Yo,
Arlene?
no, I'm not laughing at Arlie. I can't even see anything right now with the comments. I'm sorry, guys. I think for me, buying clothes just reminded me of living in New York and seeing those relationships where the boy would buy the girl clothes and the girl would buy the boy clothes. And I don't know, it's just for me, that was just not my
I
thing.
wanted
I
to
did
be
not
like,
want anybody buying. You know what I wanted? I wanted whatever it is that he bought me to be thoughtful, and I didn't feel like buying clothes was that
I
for
put a
me.
lot of thought into buying clothes.
Yo,
I want to be
yeah,
like,
you do.
just throw it in the bag.
No, do you remember that first? Do you remember that first gift that you bought me when we first started dating? I don't even know if we were official, but it was
The
my
leaves.
birthday.
Oh,
Not the leaves.
that
Yo, let me tell you guys about this dude. He shows up. First of all, he didn't, I mean, we were talking for about a year, but we weren't officially boyfriend and girlfriend. And so it was my birthday, and my birthday is July 2nd, so it's mad hot outside.
Mad hot.
I look out my window and see this dude carrying this huge trunk and a huge card. You remember them big size card, those big large
You gotta
cards?
say big size card.
No, I wasn't.
You was.
No, I
It
wasn't.
almost
Oh
came
my
out.
gosh,
You
I
remember
can't
them
with you.
big size cards?
So anyway, I can't with you right now. So I remember this dude sweating, like buckets of sweat dripping down his face, and he's like, "Happy birthday." So he bought me a trunk like this. I still have it to this day. But that was thoughtful for me. It wasn't your ordinary gift, and I forgot what you put inside of it. What did you put?
I don't know. Like lotion or something?
Because he knew that I'm like, I love to save things. I'm super sentimental. So I save like different things, and he knew that I wanted something to put those sentimental things in, right? Aww.
That trunk is still with us
It
today.
is. I wish I could show it to you guys.
It moves everywhere we move.
It
Everywhere we go.
does.
And you know that trunk is sturdy because it ain't break. It ain't fall apart. That thing was so heavy. I remember taking the B6 with it too. And mad people looking at me like, yo, what is wrong with this dude with this big old trunk, mad hot on the B6, going from Canarsie all the way to East New York just to drop this off because you said you like baskets and things like that. So I was like,
Wait, was it the what? Wait. Was it the trunk and the basket fill of Bath and Body Works?
It probably was.
I think it was. Yo, he was killing it. He was killing it. Okay, I want to go back to Arlene. Sorry. So go back to what Arlene said. Arlene says about her friend that we're talking about. She said he does not believe in marriage. Done.
Yeah.
He said that since we were 12 years old, he was with Homegirl for 9 years, and she thought he would change his mind and she would get a ring. She refused to meet me and did not like me for whatever reason. Girl, you know why she didn't like you, right? Because that's your. Uh, you know exactly why she does not like you. But anyway, I could have schooled her on how he was. I could have saved her years. You know what?
Love is blind, and it'll take all of your mind.
You
Now
know
remember
what?
that was Eve. Eve had that track.
You know what? Before I was feeling a little sorry for her, but honestly,
She
after you said that,
she bought that.
she bought that cash.
She bought that cash, and she
Um,
don't got no receipt.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, I definitely am not.
If people, please take my advice. If people show you who they are,
Believe
please
them.
believe them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
ain't changing nobody.
No, you're really not. You're really not. And I think that's with our
Renee Hampton, Canard City, East New York. She know that's love right there. That
for
bus
real.
ride is mad long.
Oh my gosh. And what's crazy is I think a lot of women do go into relationships believing that they can change the man.
Yeah, but
And that's one of the, I don't
people,
know.
and that's just regardless of anything, even if it's not relationships. People change when they want to.
Hmm.
They have to make a mental decision to say that I am going to change and
Yeah.
I'm going to be different. That thinking is so high school, right? Like in high school, you'd be like, yo, he my boyfriend, she my girlfriend, I'm gonna change her. He gonna start going to class, he gonna start sitting next to me, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this for shorty, I'm gonna get it. Nah, it don't work, man. If he you can't kiss a frog expecting them to change into Prince Charming. That's a
Yeah.
fairy tale.
Yeah, it really is. And it's unfortunate because now she has 9 years of baggage. That's baggage.
Yeah.
That's she needs therapy.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure
no, go ahead, because I'll make your point, because I'm gonna make a point too.
I'm not sure who I'm not sure who she's going to be dating after that, but that brother is going to be going through hell to have to deal and process through those 9 long years with her. And he, before,
Yeah,
and she'll always be living with this insecurity and this uncertainty.
yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I was gonna say. I feel sorry for the brother who's going to really like her and then be nice to her and want to do great things for her, because in the back of her mind she may be like, oh, you about to leave me, I don't trust you, I don't want this. And so
Yeah.
brothers like that do that to women make it hard for the brothers that are trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And then, and it just, and so I do believe that, yes, she probably needs to process that thing, because
Probably she needs to.
yeah, because man, that was jacked up.
Yeah. And for him, she's going to this is what I can. And I mean, Arlene, you already said that he does not want to get married.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, if he stated that from jump, like, you need to believe the brother. I don't want. All right, you know what? Then you should have accepted that. You should have accepted that and know that whatever it is that you guys were doing for those 9 years was all fun and games. It was for nothing. And
Right.
honestly, he probably will get married, but not to her.
Right. Right. He probably, yep, because that's what happens sometimes, right? You make them a better person for the person that they're going to marry. So he may grow up and then he may say, yo, marriage is the right
It's for
thing.
me. Yep.
But as far as their relationship, he told you from jump, I don't believe in marriage. So that means from looking at you, from seeing this, whatever it is, we ain't getting married. And I could love you and like you as much as I want to, but we ain't getting married. She was on concubine status.
Mm. Mm. I'm actually stupefied that you gave us that little nugget of information, because now it's changed the perspective in terms of what is. I think if it's different if a guy was like, yeah, marriage, I definitely see you as marriage material. I definitely want to get married, and then all of a sudden they be like, boop.
Yeah. Or say
That's
like
different.
Or say, I'm not a fan of marriage. I've seen the outcomes and I don't believe in it, but I'm not totally throwing it out the door. Right? He's just coming out the jump like, yo, I don't believe in marriage. Then what I'm gonna do? Like, I'm not going to try to convince you. What I'm going to do is say, "Nice to meet you." But we have
Let's be friends.
obviously we have different. We're on different wavelengths. Let's just be cool, and then let's go from there. But
Yeah, I also
yeah,
think though, I also think there he has a responsibility too. I know I might get in trouble for this one, but I feel like he has a responsibility as well.
well,
And
yeah,
yes, his responsibility was saying, "Yo, I don't want to get married. Marriage is not my thing." But my thing is, if you know the female wants to get married, why would you stay in that relationship?
because, and I'm just assuming, I'm not even talking about this relationship. I'm gonna just say this just say this right. Why do I need to get married if I'm reaping all the benefits
Ah,
of what a marriage can give?
gotcha.
Right? If
Yeah, but
you
even if you know you can reap the benefits, I think it should be a responsibility of that person to be like, "Yo, I want to make sure or make this very clear that I mean, and maybe
let,
he I don't know. I just
let me break down his mentality.
okay, break it down for us. Let
He
me.
is
Should I take out a paper
no,
pad?
no.
Okay.
It's gonna be real quick. This is
Okay.
what he said. He said, "Why I'ma finance this car when I can lease it?"
Mercy.
And I'm going to lease it for 9 years. And when I'm done leasing it, I'm going to walk away from it.
Woo!
And when I'm ready to finance a car, then I'm going to finance this vehicle. He leased her for
Wow.
9 years. He drove her
Shoot.
around. He enjoyed her for 9 years. But after the lease was up, he was like, you know what? I think I'm ready for a new car.
Oh my gosh. Listen, what you just said is messing me up right now because it's the doggone truth. But dang, like,
If he jumped into that thing, he basically said, I don't believe in buying cars. He told her that. He said, I don't believe in buying cars. I am going to lease you. I believe because I don't believe in investing all this money into purchasing a car to have a 5 year payment or to have a whatever payment. I am going to lease you. I'm going to lease this relationship, and this relationship is going to be wonderful. I'm going to enjoy. I love everything that this lease has to do. The lease was up because he broke up with her, right? Lease was up.
because I'm sure
Unfortunately,
at that point, the lease was probably up because he probably kept being harassed, or not harassed, but I'm sure she kept saying, when are we going to get married?
the
When are we
engine
going to
light
do
came
this? When are
on.
we going to do this?
The engine light came on. There was too many miles on it.
My gosh, my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. As Camille says, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? My gosh, my gosh, my gosh. Everybody's like, facts, facts, facts. Oh my gosh, Lord. Yodi said, Lord God, my stomach just shiver. I'm with you, man. She kept saying, buy the car. And dude was like, nah, I don't want to buy the car. Why would I go buy something when I can lease it? And then I can either trade you in,
He
right?
gonna go get a
I
brand
can
new
go and get
car.
a brand, I could trade you
And
for a
that's
brand new
exactly
car.
what he
Oh
did.
my
He got a brand new car. He went back to the dealership. And now what's gonna happen
Oh
now
my gosh.
is when now she's gonna go back on the lot. But here's what it is. She got miles on her. She's gonna get auctioned off.
Sheesh.
She's gonna go back on the lot and somebody's gonna see value in it though. And somebody's gonna treat it the way that needs to be treat her the way that she needs to be treated. But she's got miles on her from all the baggage from that lease of the other relationship.
Yo, I feel like I need a moment of silence for that girl, whoever she is. Okay, McDonald, what up, McDonald? He says, is it fair to say that if someone sets an expectation out the gate and you're expecting a different outcome, is that the definition of insanity?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if someone set the expectation out of the gate and you're expecting a different outcome, I think you have created a alternate society in your brain that you're trying to see something else. It's almost like, okay, Hey Jamie, we going to New York, but I'm driving towards California. All right, we go, but you see, like I'm driving to go somewhere else. Yeah.
Wow. 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 I'm like value as long as she sees her value. Yeah, after that she probably doesn't see her value, right? She does not. She's probably super insecure and doesn't. What's messed up is that she's stripped,
Mm-hmm.
right? Her value has been stripped because she placed so much of her value in saying, I'm going to prove this dude wrong. I'm going to get married to him. I'm going to prove that I can be the one to change his mind.
I'm gonna need Jamie to write a devotional.
For real, man, that thing hit me. I feel like I need to sit with it a little bit longer because Renee says, women, you have way more power than you think. Be smart.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Women can control dudes like this. Some of the greatest, some of the cruelest, harshest wars were fought over women.
Women. Yeah. Yeah. And I think sometimes, I don't know, I think sometimes as women, we just feel as though it's like, I don't know if it's our emotions that get the best of us, that we sometimes become so emotional that we completely negate, um, like what's in front of us, the facts. Because she completely negated the fact that this dude was not marriage material. Like he is not going to be your husband. But I feel as though of feelings and emotions sometimes gets the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the fantasy, right? The fantasy of, in her brain, she created this image that she was gonna change him, and I think like the 9 years, the longer she was with him,
Mm-hmm.
is the more it felt like it was happening, right?
Yeah.
And the more that it was becoming like a reality of like in her brain, like this is gonna happen. I've conquered him. I've won.
Mm.
I've got him, and that's not a good way to go into any relationship, right? You don't want to go into a relationship with the mentality of trying to conquer somebody or trying to change
Mm-mm.
somebody. As Don L said, like, I'm a firm believer in that. I don't think people really change. I think they just become more of who they already are.
Yeah.
They get more seasoned in who they are. But sometimes they can have little nuances that'll make them be different. But you pretty much are the same person. Let me see. You are who you are before you got here, right? That's what Jay-Z says. You could change you could change everything, but that's just the top layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of people change the top layer, but inside you are who you are. And people just become more of who they are as they get older.
Yeah. And I definitely think the onus is on her at the end of the day because she had a choice to say, I'm going to stick this out, knowing that there is a great chance that this dude will not marry me. But I feel as though it's on her. It's on her to have made that decision to chuck the deuces or to stay knowing what she knew. And what's crazy is when you're in something like that as a woman, like you may try to say, you know what, I don't care. As
Yeah.
long as I have him, he comes home to me every night. He's invested in me. He takes care of me. He makes sure that I am yada yada yada. You kind of be like, you know what, I'm good with just that. But there gets a time where you're just like, you know what, no, I want the marriage. I want the commitment.
Right. And in those 9 years, unfortunately, she did not define the relationship. She was going off of fantasy. Because if she had defined the relationship in year three, in year four, it would have been an assessment to say, hey, where are we going? My expectation is marriage. But she was probably fearful of doing that because when she brings the word up, he would have probably left her way before.
Look what Arlene said. Yo, Arlene, I feel like you needed to be on here so you could give us like even more details. She says that I told him he sucked out the life out of her and then discarded her. Both of them were wrong. It went on way too long. She kept pressuring him and he budged a little bit here and there, but he stood his ground on the no marriage aspect. Now he's dating again, and he's distraught. And she is distraught. He told her who he was. He's always honest.
Mm.
Dang girl. Dang girl. Dang girl. Sometimes men marry women on paper, but in their heart they're still single, and in their mind they know they have the upper hand.
The games people play.
Yeah.
Games,
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. McDonald says, and women, stop thinking you're grooming a man or molding him into what you want. He is who he is. He'll evolve when he's ready, not on your clock. You'll end up being the topic in the next group chat.
Oh, don't be a topic in the next group chat.
Horns.
Yeah, navigate relationships sucks, but you got to be
Mercy.
smart, as someone said. And you have to know thyself, right? And know what you want. You should always know what you want, and that's not just in relationships, in life as well.
Oh my gosh, I feel devastated for that girl, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
because I know what that feels like. Thank God you did not ever express. No. Thank God you never expressed that you never wanted to get married. You know, that was just something. But the piece of the part of expecting this, right, and not getting it, at least in the time frame that you wanted. I don't know. I just feel like it's just hard. Relationships are hard, y'all. Like if anybody said relationships are easy, they lying. They are lying because even after you get married, there's still challenges that you have to navigate. But I just think in that period, that dating period, like that stuff is
all right, Arlene.
Arlene.
Tell us how you really feel.
I ain't. For you, I'm not feeling sorry for her. Arlene is like, don't feel sorry for her. She hated my guts. Okay, I'll be nice. Yeah. I feel bad for the years she wasted.
Yeah, she hated your guts because you were honest and you were confronting her.
No. She wouldn't even talk to Arlene. But I just think the reason why she didn't talk to Arlene is because she felt threatened by Arlene's presence.
Arlene saw right through her.
But not only that, I think that's a whole nother conversation where you talk about can a man and a woman be friends and it be platonic, like it'll be good to go. You know what I mean? Can a man and woman exist in having that kind of friendship and, it be purely platonic?
That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, because I'm sure that's what she was probably she was struggling through. I'm sure you guys are really close. And the fact that this dude, I'm sure that played a part in it for sure, Arlene. So, it's kind of granted, it's natural for if you see a dude talking to your wife or your wife talking to your, I don't know, maybe if I don't know. That's a different conversation.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story today is women, don't be least.
Right. That's what you probably should have named this episode. You want to read what Camille said?
All hope is not lost for both of them. Once Sis sees her value, she can get the person who sees who she is at her core. For him, he may have some trauma that has shaped his thoughts on marriage. He may need some counseling and prayer, etc. And he could change, and if he doesn't, then he should be very honest with all females, not saying he hasn't. I agree. They're not all lost. Hopefully, there's always ways to come back, bounce back, learn. Time don't go back and go forward. You learn from your mistakes in the past. You try not to repeat them. But they have to know their self and their value.
Yeah.
How much am I worth? What am I worth to you? But you always got to define this relationship. Like, don't stick in it on the bus. Like, literally, if you're on a bus or a train, you don't sit on the bus and just go for a ride. You paid money to get on the bus. It needs to take you where you want to go. That's why you got on it. And if the bus driver is not taking you there, what do? We either get off the bus or we go talk to the driver like, fam, where are you going? And then they have to explain. So, you know, you gotta talk, and you gotta be open enough to speak and ask questions and say, hell, where we going? But she knew and this is
She got on
different.
that bus
She got on
knowing
that bus and she knew where it was going.
where it was going.
And she was hoping to change the route,
Mm-hmm.
but the route stayed the same.
Yeah.
He said, last stop, time to get off.
Yeah. I love what Renee said. She says, women, though, are art loosed, not released.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's an entire word,
That's
Renee.
a word right there.
Like, that's a whole word. Like, women, though, art loosed, not least. Mercy.
That's a sermon right
That's
there.
a
Should I preach that next week? But y'all already heard the sermon.
Just a few of them heard it. I'm sure not everyone heard it, especially in this Women's Month.
Oh.
That would be an amazing topic to talk about. In that we are not leased, we are loosed, and so I think it not only pertains to relationships. I think it goes way past relationships. I even think in our in our um, in our individual we have a Amber's bugging. We have even in our jobs, even our professions. You know what I mean? I'm not leased. I'm
Yeah.
loosed. I'm free to
Right.
like. I'm free to choose. It's all good. It's all good, Renee.
Yeah.
But I think it's even like, as I said, it doesn't just stop at relationships. It goes beyond relationships and how we live our lives. That we really should not be leased, but loosed and free to be who God has really called us to be, and the value um, that we have. It really should not only show in our relationships, but also at work, in our friendships, relationships with other people. So, yeah, that is the theme for today. I'm like, honestly, y'all, I feel like the conversation was here. Now it's kind of like coming down because I'm really feeling this, I don't know, this piece that speaks to how as women, like, a lot of our decisions that we make, I think, is based on how we see our value, how we see our true value, how we interact with people, what job we choose to be in. It's based on value, how much we choose or want to be paid. That's all value. It all comes down to our value and really being able to see it and let others know it. Like, don't come around here with all that. We're not doing that, right? Because my value is here. We're not doing that. So, yeah.
Right. Right. I have no more words.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much for this awesome conversation. Arlene, thank you for pivoting this conversation in a way, because your scenario, your situation with your best friend really has guided this conversation, and what a great conversation it was. Thank you for all that responded and just engaged with us. It definitely, as I'm walking away from this conversation, I'm just walking away from honing my value as a woman and not devaluing myself by making decisions, right? Foolish decisions that would show otherwise. So,
yeah, same thing for me too. Value myself as a man, and knowing that I am worth it. I deserve the best.
Mm-hmm.
I deserve to be treated like a human and respected, and not to be trifled with. So
right, and
that's
not to be
everybody.
least either, because
Not
we talk about women should not be least, but men should not be least as well,
That's
because we
right.
know that there are men who experience the very same thing.
Yep.
We don't talk about it often because I think a lot of times men, I mean, if a woman hears, right, about a man experiencing something like that, you'd be like,
They weak.
He weak.
He's soft.
He not strong.
Oh man, strong man. Not to cry.
Yeah, but yeah. So this is Carlene and Jamie. Hopefully we'll be back next. We'll be back next week for sure.
We'll be back next week. We'll be back in stride. Season 2 is gonna be lit. But yo, we out. Stay blessed. Stay free. And send somebody a text message and tell them that you love them. This is Jamie and Carlene. Peace.